I started my football journey very young. I growing up, I love playing football. My family are big into football, so I had no kind of choice. And yeah, loved it from a young age. I've always played. And then when I was younger, I had some experience playing at youth level with Plymouth, and then went on to university down in Plymouth as well at Marjons. And then that was where I got my first taste of coaching when I started coaching the uni team. So we didn't actually have a coach for the uni team. So I started doing a bit of coaching the uni team. Really enjoyed it. And then, as part of my uni course, I had to do 50 hours of work placement. And then I did that with Plymouth Argyle because they were my local club, a professional club. So I thought that'd be a good experience. So I went along there, did the 50 hours, and then I got offered a job off the back of that with them. So I was doing some development centre stuff with Plymouth, some community stuff, and it was brilliant. And then from there, I made quite a big jump, and I joined Chelsea, and I was at Chelsea for about 3 years. And that was brilliant. So I was then working in the girls' game. I did some coaching abroad with Chelsea as well, which was amazing. I did some of the boys' stuff as well. So a real kind of variety at Chelsea, but loved it. And then from Chelsea, I went on to Crystal Palace, where I was managing the first team reserves, the women. And then did really well there, and then stepped up to work with the first team there as assistant manager with the first team, and that was a really enjoyable time working for Palace. Obviously now they're in the Championship and doing really well, and I had a great time there. And then from there I went over to Watford, who at the time were in Super League 2, now obviously the Championship, and I started managing their under-23s or development team. And then again, from there, stepped up to be assistant with the first team, and then obviously now head coach at Watford. So that's quite a long list I've given you there. I'm sorry, it's taken up a lot of time, but that's basically my coaching journey in a nutshell, really. So at Plymouth, there wasn't that many opportunities to work in the women's game. So I think the women's team at the time, they were kind of separate. So they were their own little entity, and they weren't really involved with the men's side as much. So I did some stuff in the boys' development centres at Plymouth Argyle, and never really got the opportunity to experience coaching in the women's or girls' game while I was at Plymouth. But then when I came up to Chelsea, the girls' programme there was huge. So they had the Centre of Excellence, which is now obviously the RTC. They had elite centres, they had development centres, just girl specific. So, and as part of my role, I'd be coaching, I'd be doing a lot of coaching within the girls' game, as well as the boys and development stuff as well. So, and during my role at Chelsea, I spent a lot of time with the girls' development teams, elite teams, and floating over to the RTC every now and again. So that was really good, and I learned quite a lot from that. And then from there, I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, I mean, actually, there was one role when I was at Chelsea where I worked in an all-girls international school, and I was offered the opportunity to go to Barcelona with this team, with the girls' team. Honestly, it was amazing. So I'm going to Barcelona to basically coach my team in an international tournament for all independent schools. And we did really well, got to the final of this tournament, and that was a great experience to me and my first opportunity to go abroad. So yeah, I enjoyed working in the women's game from then, really. It's been really good. I've enjoyed it. Yeah, I've progressed quite quickly at Watford, but I think I've demonstrated that I've been willing to learn off of different people, different coaches, and I've enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed working with the younger players in the development team, and seeing them progress and seeing some of them step up into the first team was good for me, because it just showed that I was doing something right with those players. So, and then to see them, make their debut for the first team and play consistently was great. And then for myself personally to jump up with the first team was excellent. I knew I knew Armand, who came in as the head coach at the time. We'd met before. We got on really well, worked well together. So that was quite easy and quite nice to step up to obviously work with him. And then now to be head coach is, yeah, I'm obviously happy to be head coach, and I enjoy it, and I've enjoyed my time since I've been at Watford. So yeah, I'm happy. Hard, very hard, because obviously my job mainly is to work with the team on the grass. That is the main part of my job role. So obviously not being able to do that has been difficult. So I've had to adapt and do things, virtually, and it's been meetings, and it's been very difficult. So I spent a lot of my time reflecting on what we've done so far, the players that I've got, what we could possibly do when I come back. So, or when we come back, sorry. So it's been very difficult, but you try to take the best out of the situation and try to use, I suppose, each experience as an opportunity to learn and to try new things. So that's kind of how I've treated it, really. Yeah, for me, look, there's so many different ways in which you can set your team up to play football. For me, I like to see my team moving the ball well. I like us to be aggressive, no matter what team I'm with. I always like us to be aggressive out of possession and to try to win the ball back as quickly as we possibly can. But then also showing the discipline and understanding to know when we can't win it back quickly, and then just to regroup and to be patient. So for me, I like us to play really good, positive football, where we're looking to get the ball forwards as quickly as we can, not necessarily just lumping it forwards, but the best furthest pass possible. Ultimately, your strikers are the ones that 9 times out of 10 will get you the goals. So those are the players that we need to get the ball to. So it's trying to find the ways in which we can get them the ball as quickly as we can. And then, like I say, out of possession, just trying to win the ball back nice and quickly, being aggressive, high tempo, and then also having that discipline and that patience about your play as well. Yeah, it's been good. Communication, obviously, with Reece has been excellent. He's proactive. Seems like he kind of is ambitious as well, which is what I like as well. And there's some, I always like to work with people that are ambitious and don't just sit around and wait for things to happen. And it's exactly the same with the staff and the players that I work with. They want to play higher, they want to go further. I can see at Next Gen, obviously they're looking to grow, looking to develop further. Reece is no different there, and that's one thing that I really like. And yeah, I mean, so far so good from my point of view. Like I say, communication's been good, and so far I've enjoyed it. I knew about Next Gen through some of my players, and I think having a conversation with Reece over the phone, over Zoom, was what kind of nailed it for me over others. Was because it was just it was an honest conversation. It was all kind of straight to the point, no beating around the bush, very open, very fair, and the way in which it's ran, the way in which Reece runs it, was something that appealed to me. And like I say, just it was a very easy conversation to have with Reece, and I mean that's mainly the reasons to why I decided to sign with Next Gen. Really, where has he got? I wonder where he's got that from. Do you know what? But I'm quite glad that he knows that I like my golf, because yeah, I'm massively into my golf. Actually, I think I might have told him that. Terrible memory, but yeah, 100%. Listen, he won't have a chance. I'm telling you now. If we play, it's on, and there's only going to be one winner, and it's not Reece.